If you're moving to Austin for a tech job, especially with Tesla, you're probably looking in the wrong places. And that mistake can completely change your commute, your lifestyle, and even how your home performs long term. And this isn't really about Tesla, the company, because what's happening here is that Tesla is quietly reshaping where people actually live in Austin. And most people haven't caught up to that yet. Most Tesla-related demand is pulling toward the east side of Austin, Del Valle, Manor, even out toward Bastrop. And that's not where most people relocating here start their home search. Most people default north or west, the Domain, downtown, maybe Westlake if the budget allows. That's where the traditional gravity has been. But Tesla is creating a second center of gravity, and it is changing the map of this city in real time. And this is where it starts to matter, because when a company builds at the scale that Tesla is building at in Austin, it doesn't just create jobs, it creates patterns. And patterns of where people move, where demand shows up, and where housing starts to tighten depending on who's coming in and what they need. And the people moving for Tesla are not all the same. So, for example, you have engineers, then you have manufacturing leadership, you have operations, and they all fall into very different income brackets, which means they land in completely different parts of the housing market. So instead of one area heating up, you start to see multiple micro markets forming around the same employer. Higher earners still have flexibility. They can choose proximity or lifestyle. As you move down the income range, commute starts to matter more, price sensitivity increases, and suddenly the east side becomes a much more logical option than the areas most people talk about online. And this is where people get it wrong. They assume that moving to Austin for a tech job means living where everyone else is talking about. But if your job is tied to Tesla, that assumption can actually work against you, because now your commute, your daily routine, and even your long-term upside are tied to a completely different part of the city. And the east side of Austin is not the same as the west side. On the east side, you have more new construction, more available land, more infrastructure that's still catching up, and a lot more room for growth. Really. On the west side, you have established neighborhoods with higher entry prices and much less room to expand. When demand starts shifting east, it doesn't just move people, it changes where opportunity shows up. And that doesn't mean that everyone should go buy a house in Del Valle or Manor. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is you need to understand where demand is going before you decide where you want to be, because those are two very different decisions, and the people who understand that earlier tend to make very different moves than the people who just follow what's already popular. And Tesla is just one example of this happening. You also have Samsung building out massive manufacturing nearby. You have Apple continuing to expand, and a growing layer of startups and operators building in AI, robotics, hardware, and all of that talent doesn't spread evenly across Austin. It clusters. It creates new pockets out of demand for them over time. And Tesla is one of the clearest examples of that shift happening right now. Now, quick reality check. Not all of this plays out perfectly. Not everyone moving for Tesla will stay. Not every bet scales the way people expect. And not every area grows at the same rate. But when a company invests at the level that Tesla is in one location, you should really pay attention, because even partial success of Tesla still changes the shape of the market in Austin. And if you're thinking about moving here, especially for a tech or adjacent role, this becomes very practical information for you. Because where you live is not just about the house, it's about your commute, it's about your life, and whether you're positioned in the path of growth or if you're reacting to the growth later. If you're relocating, trying to figure out where you fit in Austin, reach out to me. All my contact info is in the description. I'll point you in the right direction. That's what I do. I'm Amber Haley. I made this channel for people who want to understand where Austin is actually going, not just where it's been. I can't wait to see you in Austin.